better. I can hear myself, so it's like I don't want it to be too loud. But looks like we're starting off on the Puff here. It's just really interesting because, like, especially Puff really struggles with approaching, so they go really passive. So when you're going into this with Zelda here in the mix, Zelda is pretty much never approaching you. So when we have Puff and Indeed just kind of going for these hops, looking for something to approach, like these back airs, like these side beats, just kind of waiting for RubyD to overextend. Ruby getting a little aggressive here, finding little bits of damage there, here and there. Aside their zoning, Indeed just playing very aggressive and like still hovering right outside of Ruby's first range, which is a very good thing to do, especially when you're on Puff in this situation here. And you really want to get into the zone where Zelda can't use a projectile well, but you're also a threat if they stick it in. But Ruby going right on the explosive, getting that up tilt up air, you know, you have to be really careful, especially on Puff. You can explode immediately, and that's why you always have to play so slow, so cautiously. But Indeed still holding on strong, having a strong ledge guard, just really making sure that Ruby can't get easy. But Ruby getting some nice sharks here, just really making sure that Indeed isn't getting as much as they can and stopping them from getting greedy, which is leading them to have that percent deficit where Ruby is just holding on no sweat. Playing slow and then just guessing right when Indeed pushes, and especially with those upward phantom hits, Indeed really is struggling to get in, especially when you're down on Puff. You don't have the opportunity to just kind of play close and kind of zone and not really approach, but when you're down this full stock, you have to be so much more careful. And Indeed, really being careful there with that Zelda up B, just making sure as they got sharp earlier, they don't want to get punished, especially with Puff's explosiveness, but also getting exploded still. And there's that explosiveness there with that back air. Indeed, just kind of fishing for this kill here, going up high, but still making sure that they can get back in time. But Ruby just not letting Indeed really have anything useful here, just really zoning out and keeping out, especially if Indeed gets a little overzealous with these options. Ruby is punishing them with that fair, just making sure that Indeed it just cannot get it. But Indeed still on their own, really holding strong and playing slow in this neutral here, making sure to just punish Ruby when they can for getting close, and especially trying to go after that phantom there. But even then, the down throw up air ending to kill. Now, it's really interesting where we're going to see Indeed maybe swap to that Palu there, especially in this matchup. You don't really see Jigglypuff. I could imagine it's probably one of Jigglypuff's many abysmal matchups. But switching off to Palu here would give him that advantage where he can get in, and when he gets those situations where he can truly succeed and then get in, he can get in more times and then also be able to stay in and cannot get punished as much because they have that bear left. Palu Bear is it's just broken. Palu Bear is undeniably broken. It is incredibly good. And especially against Zelda, zoning out some of her options that needs that sweet spot, and it really just covers that Nair, the fair, the bear, and then maybe not up air, but you're not really getting in those situations. But here is the Palu, as we said, really wants a small battlefield. Zelda really likes these mid-plats in some of these stages where she can sit in the corner and there's that platform to cover the upper landing right there. So you really have to approach Zelda very carefully. And one of the things in this matchup that you kind of have to do is, just as I said earlier, you have to get up to that phantom. And there's a really interesting niche piece of information where the Zelda phantom, if you get too close for it, the wind box will push you away and you won't get hit by it, which is definitely a very important thing to do when you can stand in Zelda's first range, but also just not worry about that. And then on that phantom swing as well, when they swing upwards, it heads really high and up, but it doesn't cover directly up, so you can kind of play right above them. So RubyD, and then still showing some strong signs of ledge trapping, just really making sure that Indeed is really kind of struggling to get in here. RubyD going for that really aggressive F smash, and then getting punished for some of these aggressive options that you really have to be careful for. Because with Palu, if she gets you on one string, that ledge trap could go, and especially another point. So you raise that reflector, you bring it out once or twice, but it is such a strong option that you really do have to respect. But again, indeed, making sure that they're able to pressure Zelda from afar, that's one of those options that they didn't have on Puff. On Puff, you have your fair, you have your barrier, you might have pound, but you really can't get anything most far in. But with Haru, you have that fair, you have your neutral B, and you also have that air that you can switch for here, that bair and up air that provides such strong pressure because not only do they kill, they also set up for options where they can kill. But RubyD's really doing a good job of playing carefully, using that neutral B to prevent those situations when they can. This is such a quick option that basically just deals them out. But there again is that sense of hit. He didn't need that roll there, and if they had maybe gone for an up air or maybe just a different option, that would have gotten secured the kill. But indeed, it's still looking to try and secure this kill. RubyD, what a down smash, just really making sure that needed is boxing all of these options. You have down B covering that that horizontal, a bit of that vertical, and then just realizing that he's going to look for that upward option and then covering it with that up air. That's really what you have to be so careful for against Zelda. It's such a matchup-checking character, but if you do know the matchup, Zelda has to work very hard to kind of get some of these things. And indeed, seeming to slow down, kind of back away in their chair, just trying to get through the end of the set. RubyD trying to finish the set, just kind of keeping him at ledge, just really struggling to get anything, even a kill here. And there is the kill right there on that down B. RubyD just holding such a strong advantage and disadvantage. Oh, I'm on stream. Derek, you got it. I'm on stream. Thank you, Derek.